Hello, dear friends. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good noon. Last week, talking about maybe beginnings in the Middle East, we mentioned like a hinted beginning of autonomous management of the countries of the Middle East. We had this division of the three blocks of alliances, if you remember, pro-West, the alliance of the Axis of Resistance, and the neutral countries. It is not so clear-cut anymore today. Things are very dynamic. And this process of autonomous management, or at least the beginning of an autonomous management, we continue to witness, and it's not so clear because it's accompanied by many turmoils, like what we witness in Iran now and Gaza and all the rest of the area. I heard a short interview in a channel called The Muslim World, which has a way of seeing things through the eyes of a Muslim. And in this interview, the Turkish foreign minister, whose name is Hakan Fidan, stated that the Muslim world is awakening after 100 years of deep sleep. And I will quote him here, just a few sentences. He said, "When we come together, we are now realizing that what we are capable of doing. America is stepping away from acting as world's police, and regional problems will be solved by regional countries." And one of the things he said, the foreign policy line put forward by President Trump overlaps with this. Leaving the matters of the countries of the regions to themselves. This is his quote. This is what he said. Helping them shoulder their responsibility. The maturity level of regional countries, their national capacities, and their development as nation states have now reached a certain point. And he continues saying, "I believe that shared political will, shared efforts, and shared visions aimed at resolving problems will emerge from here. In fact, all our work is in this direction, explaining this reality and advancing our cooperation around truly implementable projects. When we make this possible, instead of conflicts, instead of blood feuds, instead of destruction and deaths that already exist, prosperity, peace, and human rights will emerge. We have to work very hard on this for some change to happen." End quote. Yes, it's a different language. Inshallah. The fact that this trend is mentioned might begin to move energies on the ground, inshallah. Thank you. Over to you, Efrat.
Thank you, Helen. Good evening, dear friends and co-workers. Last week, I brought here the image of Israel as an entity coping with severe autoimmune disease, and I refer to the serious attack on the judicial system. Today, I will present another symptom of the attack on the healthy parts of this entity through attempts to take over or silence the media. Legislative initiative to shut down a public television channel, a decision to close a radio station, personal attacks and threats against journalists and media professionals who do not parrot the government's messages and moreover express criticism and opposition. There is an overlap between these symptoms since some of the attacks and threats are directed at journalists who expose corruption within the governing system. Today, we may see the signs of hope and health of a struggle against these autoimmune symptoms in the joining of several leaders of the protest movements to the Democrats Party, a left-wing party working to restore Israel to health, to sanity, and to the values of equality, justice, ending the occupation, and taking responsibility. Such, such a transition from streets and protest into the center of politics and influence may mark the possibility of recovery.
Hello, friends. Thank you, Helen and Efrat. Let's do our work for this area, West Asia. Let us settle in our body. In the inner silence. Touching base with our heart between the shoulder blades. Purifying our heart so it may hold complex situations in harmlessness. Collecting our mental forces in the center of the head. And expanding our vision, our mental vision, into an inclusive planetary perspective. Standing as the soul in incarnation, in the will to love. Visualizing ourselves now coming together, reaching out to each other, heart to heart, mind to mind, soul to soul. And as a service unit, we are part of the Ajna center of the planet, linked with all soul-guided servers around the world. And we stand calm, like on a pinnacle, at the midway point between humanity and hierarchy. And from here, let us turn our eyes towards struggling humanity, just observing the forces in motion, the turmoil and pressure of initiation into a new age. Silent watcher, holding for a moment humanity in this transition period. And gently focusing in now on the region of West Asia. Getting a sense of the many powerful forces that are meeting here in this Middle East vortex. And as we look at it, let's see if we can sense some of the dynamics of this possible shift towards more self-regulatory cooperation among the nation states in West Asia. Perhaps more regional autonomous management. Perhaps a budding regional or cultural sense of self. And let's include in our awareness also Palestine within this context, and Israel. And perhaps a special view on Iran. Let's take a moment. And let us recognize how this area, West Asia, is a playground at the moment for humanity's ancient karmic solar plexus issues. The question of identity and belief, the conflict of interests, the struggle for dignity and sovereignty. Holding, witnessing this struggle. And refocusing again on the pinnacle. Silent watchers. And from the pinnacle, let us draw a line of light upwards towards hierarchy. The connecting light line. The planetary heart center. And continuing the line towards Shambhala, the planetary head center. And visualize now a stream of love and will pour into the planetary Ajna center, the new group of world servers. And there become light, soul light. And in this light, let us quietly reflect now for a moment on the necessary process of transmutation of the condition in West Asia. Visualize the transformation of conflict into a field of creative tension. Let us sense and intuit a possible process so that this zone of complex turmoil may transform into a field of creative tension. Let us invoke the Lords of Liberation now to help us transmute all that stands in the way of such a process and evoke the soul light in humanity to forge together a path for the saving force on our planet. Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to humanity. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming save. Come forth, Almighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may we stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth, the end of woe has come. Come forth, Almighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, Almighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, Almighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end. See and sense a shaft of pure golden white light, broad and brilliant, flood West Asia. See a huge column of light pouring through all planes. Hold this column steady in the will to peace. See soul light flooding the mental plane of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the astral plane of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the etheric physical plane of the Middle East, penetrating into the earth, joining with the Devic forces, transmuting the ancient records of evil sharing, dissolving and purifying them into the recognition that every human life is sacred. We take 2 minutes to see this work proceeding. Let us visualize the saving force spreading in West Asia. being active in each nation, each ethnic group, each religious group. Visualize the principle of the highest good of all, gradually and steadily taking root, lifting humanity from solar plexus dynamics into the heart. Let us affirm this from solar plexus dynamics into the heart as we sound the great invocation in Hebrew and in Arabic.
מנקודת האור אשר בדעת אל, יזרום האור אל דעת האדם. ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת האהבה אשר בלב האל, יזרום האהבה אל לבבות אנוש. ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. המרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות אדם. תכלית אותה מורי האנושות יודעים, משרתים. והמרכז אשר נקרא המין האנושי, שם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון, ויחדשו אור, אהבה ועוצמה, את התוכנית על פני האדמה. אמן.
من نقطة النور في العقل الإلهي ليشع النور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض. من نقطة الحب في القلب الإلهي ليتسرب الحب إلى قلوب الناس وليرجع معلم الكون إلى الأرض. من المركز الذي تعرف منها إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية التي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها. من المركز الذي ندعون بالجنس البشري لينتج تسمين الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به الشر، ليجدد النور والحب والقوة، التسمين على الأرض. الله أمين.